let's do it live. Hello, I'm Raymond. No, that's a terrible intro. Hi, I'm Raymond, and you're listening to Insert Quest here. Today we're going to be playing Numenera. This is session 8, I think, of our Numenera game. Brandon is GMing, and Brandon's going to tell us what we're up to.
In what capacity? Ha 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 ha. No, as probably last time, you remember, you
This
arrived.
has been like 2 months for us.
The illusion. Um, now you've made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry,
You
last
arrived on
time.
the island, or the land, the thing, the place.
We arrived at the
Of
place we were journeying to.
Yes, Ladon, city of sea merchants. Um, you discover that the land, the city, had been taken over by the Angulan Knights, and no mutated peoples or peoples of non-human origin can
No
come on the land.
subhumans,
Yes, abhumans.
abhumans. Not to be
Um,
confused with inhumans or transhumans.
you had a interesting interaction with a whatever she was called. I don't know what she's
Harbour
called.
Master.
Yes,
The Harbour
Harbor
Master,
Master.
and then we ran into a crazy gang of religious people.
Well,
Who-
a preacher with an escape balloon, apparently, and
Sounds like
he was
something from
accidentally killed. And then you're like, "Yo, let's get out of here." So you left and went to the church.
where we found our friend P, who was with us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
She was sitting quietly in the corner eating a loaf of bread.
I think you were actually like seasick or something when we got to port.
You were sick from Marin's memory nonsense.
But you
Ah.
have
But
cleared yourself out, if you know what I mean.
for sake of brevity and non-irritation, you are at the church because Mirren told you that's where they were
They were
headed.
going. Okay.
Yes. So,
Cool, so we should introduce our characters
yeah.
and ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm Raymond. I am playing Halim Deep Swimmer, a pirate and glaive who is apparently charming.
That can be argued.
Yeah, indeed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan. I am playing Ceopia, otherwise known as P. She is a rugged jack who explores dark places. And she was left to her own devices in the wild when her father disappeared, and now she has joined up with these crazy adventurers to maybe prevent some kind of a political move by the Amber Papacy.
It has been a wild time. Where's my fucking XP?
I could not tell you where your XP is at.
It's 4
Well, I'll
XP
just
for an
introduce my
advancement, isn't
character.
it? Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Okay.
Sorry, Jacob.
Okay.
I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm playing Kieran, and he is a graceful glaive who fights with panache. And he's here because, well, I don't know. Someone like threatened his sister, and now he has to go find this person and murder them so that his sister won't die.
Those are like, that's a classic D&D description of like your past. I don't know, I'm like angry at somebody or something. I'm here to kill people.
It has been a while.
It's true, it has been a while. It has been so long that I realized the other day that the AP that I put up today for our website, we don't really introduce who we are, except for like, so people will be familiar with Ryan, and me on the recording, but they'll have no idea who Brandon and Jacob are because we've
Aha!
played like 7 sessions of Numenera that we haven't put up on the site yet.
Oh.
It's a trick.
Because fuck linear time.
It's a trick.
Wait, which one was my debut on the channel?
It's gonna be the Monster Hearts game.
Oh my god.
Or
I
the,
don't think that we've recorded anything together yet.
The Monster of the Week game, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, the Monster of the Week game, not the Monster Heart game. Sorry, because we didn't
okay,
record
so
the Monster Hearts game.
my first one will be Sexy Grandpa.
Yeah, indeed, the first one is Sexy Grandpa. Okay, so we enter the church with my long, greasy hair not flowing.
Yes.
But it's greasy in like a sexy pirate way, you know, like the Mariner
Dreads or
from
something?
Waterworld. No, I'm going Kevin Costner.
Oh, thought you had knotted hair or something, or dready hair.
Has knotted hair in that movie. I don't have dreads. I've got gills. I wish I had gills. I should have taken the fucking deep diver and been useless whenever we weren't in water.
I mean, the whole rest of the game.
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah. So, as you enter the overly large church, there's just one simple room as you enter the building, some kind of meeting hall. There's people milling about talking to knights, people talking to each other who don't look like knights.
Do knights wear plate in this order, or do they have their own special armor or something?
They wear some kind of armor. Some of them wear plate, some of them wear not plate.
Do they have any kind of unifying item of clothing at all? Just
No,
trying
they
to
have-
immerse myself.
No, they're dumb knights.
They don't have a hat.
Yes, they all wear a top hat. They all
With
wear a
cobs on
fedora.
it, because they're really into steampunk.
Yeah,
What shape is the room?
it is square. It backs onto a courtyard that is open to the sky. There are people milling about there. Tapestries adorn the walls. It's very like shitty medieval. There are people huddled in small groups speaking to each other. You suspect this is some place where non-knights can meet with knights or come for help. Most of the other places would be off limits to non-knights.
Alright, so nobody mentioned that we killed a guy, alright? Because that doesn't need to be... Just keep that on the DL. So I'm just because it was a while ago, were we coming here to meet with a specific person, or were we just going to talk to my contact, Knight Marshal Guinier?
You were
I feel like
just
there was
going
someone
here
with information.
because you thought you could find information.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to look for someone that looks like they're from here.
Like
You know, a
this
knight.
city? Oh, a knight? There are lots of knights.
The closest one who doesn't look like they're embroiled in too important a discussion. You know, one who's talking about, whoa, where do you want to go for lunch today? Now that we've driven out all them abhumans, we can't have delicious abhuman food. We're gonna have to eat our own shitty cuisine.
So you approach some man who's hanging out by himself, picking his fingernails with a knife.
I do that.
He's kind of wearing like a breastplate and then some leather pants.
I love leather pants. Personally, I mean, my pants aren't made out of leather. They're made out of that weird plastic, malleable, flexible metal cloth thing that is in the book that I can't remember what it's called. They make
He has
bags
a weird,
and shit out of it.
like blue bib kind of thing that like hangs on the front of his breastplate. That's blue.
that it is how you would normally describe a blue bib.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, he could be wearing a bib that's on the back of himself because he's an idiot.
I just meant that you said you opened with it's a blue bib and then closed with that is blue. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been a dick about it. I walk up to this gentleman.
He looks at you. What do you want?
Hi. I'm looking for Knight Marshal Guinea.
Kind of sneers at you for a second. Oh, you're to bang or something?
It wasn't on the top of my list.
Kind of like pulls at this like scraggly beard that he has, and he goes, "Okay, I'll see if I can find her."
Thank you so much. I know that this probably isn't like your job or anything, but
He kind of like walks
I
away.
didn't know the protocol. Okay, he's just gonna walk off. I mean, I was whatever. It's fine. I don't care or anything. So, P, you look like you have recovered from your sickness.
Oh, yes. Just had to get a few of my memories straight, and then once I did or didn't, the fog is cleared from my mind now. Thank goodness.
I just remembered a bunch of details from the last session. So, P, what do you think of my new foppish hat? It's like a giant fucking floppy French musketeer looking thing with ridiculous ostrich feathers and stuff.
That's quite a hat there.
Well, you know. The boy fetched it for me. The boy whose name I can't recall.
His name is Carden.
Carden. That's right, Carden, like cardigan, not like corduroy.
Yes.
Carden fetched it for me. It's the first step on his training.
Yes. Carden is the young man whom which you
we interrogated.
Yes.
And now he wants to bang your character, right?
Yeah, but I have I'm not interested in him in that way. So I'm like, yeah, I'll train you in how to be a warrior. That's what you mean, right?
So, Halim, are you going to ask P about, anything that's going on, or, about all the stuff that Kieran won't tell you about, or
so tell me again. I know that I'm here helping Mirren find his partner, but why is it that you guys were originally coming to this city? Kieran didn't wish to share.
Oh my god.
I make eye contact with Kieran. I think that Halim has proven himself. Your character's male, right?
Yeah.
I think that Halim has proven himself trustworthy, Kieran.
If you want to share it, then go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
Alright. Well, we came here and we were looking for the Purple Man. I'm sorry, I am like way behind in the details. We were looking for an individual named Grieve Binma, who has something to do with a It was the Amber Papacy, correct? They were trying to make inroads into Aeon.
No, I will.
I forget.
I will.
I forget the just.
Oh, is something wrong?
We're having technical difficulties. No worries.
Uh-oh.
Brandon's microphone just randomly muted.
No, someone was printing something. Anyways, so what the whole plot of the game is you discovered this item in Ko and Kieran discovered an item in a weird sub-dimension where some weird goat people lived. They retrieved it for a man
Rich guy.
named First Electorate Georges Maldzeit,
He was a top bloke.
who they then became interested in sharing the information with a woman named Ketlana and her partner, who were also partnered with one of the people who went inside first,
The
Gloria.
previous employees
Yes.
of George.
And when they went to go find Nevi, the bar he was in exploded. Exploded by Grieve Binma.
And intrigue ensued.
Yes. And you chased a lead to Ladon where he supposedly had a home, or there's some kind of something about him here.
You believed this was where he was, like, born. It's certainly, like, where the first appearance of his name in records, his family
Okay.
name.
And something that is important, Cardin told you that he was ordered by a Lord of the Needle to come and collect a bounty on your heads because you were responsible for the death of, or the injury, I should say, excuse me, not death, he's not dead, of First Electorate Georges Malzite.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that either George framed you, rather, or, like, Grieve Binma did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's basically what's going on.
That's the whole plot.
To which Halim is like, wow, that is some, whatever the Numenera equivalent of James Bond kind of stuff is.
That's right. So, what does Guinevere look like as she walks through the door?
I normally have my warrior folk women be giant mountains of people, but I reckon I'd like to see a diminutive, muscular, stocky, like a pit bull of a woman.
All right. You see this woman, who you recognize as Guinevere. She is short, as you said, muscular, as you said, kind of scarred. She has long black hair and dark features. She has a let's see, what was she? She was a knight marshal. She has some kind of emblem on her, like her cape, like pinned to her shoulder area, and she kind of sees you and starts walking towards you.
I take off my stupid, oversized, mismatched to my outfit hat and sort of dip it, and then place it back on my head as I see her walk over.
She kind of rolls her eyes at you as she comes over, and she goes, "Halim, you bastard, what can I do for you?"
It is good to see you again. Oh, you look every bit as radiant as I remember.
She gives you a Numenera handshake.
Yeah, there's like some slapping and some twisting.
Yes.
Everyone extends their tentacles and then pretends not to be abhuman.
You are all destroyed. So she kind of studies you for a moment and then looks at P and Kieran and Cardin and says, "These aren't your usual compatriots."
No, these fine young mercenaries, I will say, are recent recruits. We've had to take on more fighters. We were attacked at sea, don't you know?
She
Grisly
nods
business.
at you. And then she's like, well, good thing none of them were abhumans. And she's kind of facing the wall so no one can see her, and her eyes kind of go wide at you as she says this.
Indeed, I am certainly glad that we have purged all the abhumans from our fleet from our ship. In recent years, we realized how.
She kind of leans in as you're talking and says, calm down.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I didn't know how far I needed to go.
Where do you want to talk? She kind of like crosses her arms. And,
What time of day is it?
noonish.
Lunch. I point to everyone. Lunch.
Sounds good.
Curtin shrugs.
I'll cover
Kind
you,
of-
Corden. Don't worry.
Um,
I know you're a bit strapped at the moment. He's new.
So, do you all go outside following Gwynier to some kind of lunch?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm in the mood for a soup. Maybe with some bread in it.
She kind of leads you, what would be the equivalent of a few blocks away. Jeez Louise. And
Such printing.
she kind of looks at you funnily as you go around the corner of this building, like into Crossway.
I brace myself to be like pushed against a wall with a knife against my throat as she screams, "What are you doing here?"
No, she just kind of makes sure everyone like goes around the Crossway, so you're not like in direct eyesight of the, of the church itself. And she says, "So, what are you really here for?"
So, these fine folks, I'd say, pointing to Kieran and P, are looking for someone called Grieve Binmar. But
Cardin frowns.
Do you know anything about him?
Gwynier looks at you and says, "Oh, Grieve Binma. Yeah, he." She kind of like looks up like into the hill area
I look
and says,
to
"Yeah,
where there is probably a mansion or something.
yeah. There's a noble-ish Numenera type house."
It's like made out of shellfish.
Yeah, she points up there and says, "Yeah, that's his home up there. He's kind of a recluse."
Interesting.
Nice man.
I look forward to crawling through that dungeon.
Wait, what does he do to afford a mansion like that?
She kind of shrugs. I don't know. He has money.
How did the priesthood take over the city? You guys had a sort of a peaceful-ish kind of parasitic relationship with the city up until recently, was my understanding. You stuck to your own business, and the city tried to ignore that you were slowly sucking the blood from their veins.
She rolls her eyes at you. Well, things happen, and inflamed preachers make their way to the city and start talking about, how we should kill all the whatevers and,
The fish people?
not necessarily. I mean, mutants.
Not just fish people.
Yes, all kind of whatever is deemed non-human.
What a shame it would be for the iron winds to blow through here. Then you would all be mutants. If you
She
managed
kind of
to survive.
Looks at you. She's like, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I also wouldn't wish being driven from your home, but whatever, I'm sure you did your best.
She
So,
kind of looks at you.
people
and
got
says,
inflamed, and then you decided to just seize the city?
No. People got inflamed, and because they got inflamed, things had to happen that needed to happen.
Like
Just a
driving out anyone who's different from you.
It's just a simple, small town race war. No biggie.
Yes, small. Um,
Yeah, I know, it's not a small town.
she kind of looks at you. She's like, I'm not for this. I just, I have a job to do. If I could
I'm not
be out
for
of here.
this, but I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Exactly.
He's only following orders.
There was an
Yes.
ancient tribe. I believe they were called the Germans.
Oh my god.
She,
Sorry. Look, I understand one has to do distasteful things to survive.
Like,
she nods.
killing anyone who doesn't move out of their houses.
I once was familiar with gang life.
She shakes her hand at you. There's nothing I can do, so. I mean,
Well, hopefully.
Well, it's a problem for someone else.
Well, yes.
she
I mean,
gives you a pointed look and says, okay,
well,
let's start a revolution then.
well,
And
we need to
she
find out
rolls
more
her
about
eyes.
Grieve Brynmar, but we also are looking for an unusual creature.
She kind of laughs. Well, you're probably not going to find one here in the city where they're killing all the quote-unquote unusual creatures.
I can't quite remember,
Good thing
but
it's not our fault they're killing
did
all the unusual
Murin,
creatures.
I can't quite remember, but did Murin say that it was the knights that captured his partner, or
He told you a man dressed in um, orange robes
orange robes?
with a long beard and two men in some type of plate armor came to his little weird dimensional island and um, used some kind of magics on him to, um,
And then
you
captured
know,
his partner. And then when we
yes,
arrived here, he like sensed his partner nearby or something, right?
yes.
Right. Some an Aeon priest and some knights captured well. Yeah, Aeon priests wear orange.
Yes.
Yes, cool. An Aeon priest and some knights captured a strange memory-eating insectoid serpent, and I believe that it is somewhere in this town, and we need it back for reasons. There are children involved. Children that will have to grow up sans a parent.
She kind of looks at you.
You know how I feel about orphans.
I a bug?
Yeah,
A giant bug?
it's kind of serpentine. Like a millipede or a center serpent.
Grade.
Centigrade. Yeah, a centigrader, right. I was trying to make up new insect names.
She kind of looks around, like trying. She's like, I don't know anything about that.
Come on, Guinea. We go way back, don't we? I helped you out of that jam that time. And, you helped my mother get some things into the city. We have a mutually beneficial relationship over the years. Come
She kind
on.
of
You taught
nods.
me how to stab a man. Come on. You know all the best brothels in town. Can't you just help me out? You're an old
What the hell
pal.
does that have anything to do with this?
I'm trying to, evoke that we have a past.
She kind of looks at you and says, Halim, there are some lines I will not cross.
Look, you don't have to tell me where they are. Just, if they're not in your order, tell me so that I can go deal with the people that are not in your order. But if they are in your order, say no more. I will not ask you to interfere.
Would you like to make some kind of positive social interaction?
I totally would like to make some kind of positive social interaction, and I believe that I am trained in positive social interaction. So what is the difficulty, please?
The
Ooh, they
difficulty
changed
is
this.
3.
Where is the
Just
input
hit
the difficulty?
just hit the dice and it will bring up a box.
Okay. Did it
Or it
bring up a
should bring.
box? Oh, it did. Okay.
Yes.
And the difficulty that you want?
3.
3.
3. Sorry, you probably said that when I was.
No problem.
Okay. I don't want to use effort. I don't have any assets. I don't have any bonuses.
You got a success.
Brilliant. That took more effort than I thought it would. There was a lot of
Well,
windows that came up, but it's a better way of doing it, I will admit.
what do you say? What is your line? What line do you deliver? Are you being persuasive? Are you being flirtative? That is not a word, but it is now.
Flirtative. I'm gonna say that I've known the Marshal for a while, and that they were first a contact of my mother, and so I have a bit of a child teacher-esque crush on her when I was younger. Whenever we'd come through this part of town, so there's a bit of that flirting in there, but it's mostly calling on this past relationship. I'm like, you know, that I don't want to hurt you. This is not meant to come off as a threat. I just need to help out this friend of mine, okay? I'm not going to kill anybody. I just need to say, you know me. I don't like to get into fights. And I put my hand on her arm. I'm like, I really need to know where this person, for lack of a better word, is.
This disgusting, gross creature. She kind of rolls her shoulders and says, "Now, I can't give you 100% affirmation that whatever you're looking for is in there." And she kind of points, makes motion around the corner to the sanctuary of the eye.
Where we just came from.
Yes, and she says, supposedly, Petrin, and she kind of like looks at you and says, Grand Knight Petrin, and the High Father have some kind of creature in the basement of the sanctuary.
Well, I certainly hope that creature doesn't get out and escape, cause havoc in the town. Have they got all of the exits and entrances secured?
She looks at you. I don't go down there. I don't know.
So,
I'm a marshal.
for everyone that's listening, I
Not a
just
doctor.
got out of her that the place where they're keeping the monster is underground.
So it's a dark place.
Damn it!
Good thing we have someone who can explore dark places.
Someone whose name begins with P and is also P.
Well, technically it begins with C, but...
Okay,
well, you know what, Brandon? That is a good point.
Yes, she says...
So marshals aren't allowed down there, but aren't marshals...
She shakes her hand at you. No. I just don't go down there. She's like, she puts her hands out. She's like, I want to be out there. And she's kind of like just pointing in a I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be what I'm supposed to be doing, which is out there.
Okay.
Like out there as in like in the city, or out there as in like...
As in the larger aspect of out in the ninth world.
Okay.
I think that marshals are maybe perhaps, or at least she is perhaps fuck. What is the word I'm looking for? She is an officially endorsed by the Papal See Numenera hunter, or at the very least a sort of a wandering defender.
Rights, wrongs, past judgments, see justice done, etc. That is
Marshals,
the
things.
way. Do whatever the fuck you want, kill a whole bunch of people, do it in the name of justice. Hope no one tries to kill you.
Yeah.
She looks at you and says, it's possible there's a way in from somewhere else, but I don't know.
Alright, well, shall we go get that lunch?
She looks at you and says, no.
Alright, well, can you point me towards a good soup place? Because we need to discuss lunch.
She looks at you, narrows her eyes at you, and says, no. And I've done enough. And she kind of pushes past you and says, I hope you find this bug or whatever.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
I hope you don't kill any more Wait, what is it? Metahumans? Or
Metahumans!
I was like, wow, I'm in the wrong place here.
That's why they call me Halim.
Abhuman.
Abhumans, yes.
Or mutants or whatever. Non-humanoid creatures.
Sorry to hear that the pogrom is cramping your style.
Well, she's just kind of wandering away. Perhaps the soul-crushing nature of having to kill poor mutant children is weighing heavily on her soul.
Well, that's not our fault. We didn't murder any children.
Yeah.
Perhaps she needs a close friend who will understand her plight.
Well,
she's not going to find one here.
As she walks away, I'm just like,
shoot
hey.
her in the back.
Yeah, no, I throw my spear right through her. That's for the kids. She walks away like, hey, I know that you're doing the best that you can. Alright? And then, like,
too bad it's not enough.
Oh my god, Kieran! I will travel
to
to your small town and murder your sister for you.
Okay, you don't know about my sister.
Damn it!
So, where would you like to go? To lunch?
Yes.
No.
I think that we should go to lunch and then plan our next thing.
The big
line of
purple exclamation point leading you to Grieve Binma.
Yeah, well, I would like to know more about either locations before going into them.
No, run headlong into them.
I mean, we can do that, but the last time I just went with my gut, I got murdered.
I mean, the last time you just stuck around in a wild area after multiple animals were murdered?
Yeah, exactly.
You got murdered in the wild?
I went with my gut. Like the idiot that I am.
And then you went inside of a gut.
Yes, exactly the point.
So, you make your way to a stand that says no abhumans.
Brilliant.
You look around. Everywhere has signs written in numerous different kinds of dialects that say no abhumans.
We get it. They're racist.
You're so edgy.
You get some kind of food on sticks.
This isn't even.
That is the opposite of soup.
It is, in fact.
soup is illegal. It is unnatural.
Subhuman food. If God had meant for us to eat pureed vegetables, then they would have come out of the ground pureed.
Exactly.
What if you pick the vegetables?
Whatever. You know what I mean?
You have some kind of steaming stick-based food in a cup of broth.
Nice. So, what do you guys think? You know, should we go to this mansion on the hill, or should we try and rescue Murin's partner first?
If we go to Grieve Binma's mansion, we should scout it out first. I'm guessing that both of these actions are going to be of questionable legality. We're gonna be B&Eing on both of them, so we may want to prioritize and then figure out how not to get ourselves caught, so we can actually stay around long enough to do the second one.
Yeah.
If only one of us can phase through walls.
I don't think it would be wise to go after Mirren's mate first because they're being guarded by the authorities. So if we try and break into a mansion after that, it's going to look really suspicious.
As we're sitting here eating, I look down the streets. Do I see knights patrolling the streets?
Not in particular. There's, one or two hanging around.
How many knights are there in the city?
Do you have a night locator focus?
Yes, that's his focus. You just never know.
I am a charming glaive who knows a lot about knights.
Sorry.
It's a really weird focus.
You're not really sure. From what you've seen, there's at least 50, but you have no idea because you're not inside the Sanctuary of the Eye, poking around, doing things.
I just don't think...
So, out of character, what exactly... Are we just looking for information about Grieve Binma? Are we looking for him so that we can get our revenge for setting us up in this whole thing, or...
Well, there's no guarantee he's there.
Right.
Well...
But, I mean, he could be, but he could not be.
I would like to reference a particular point made by Knight Guinevere. That is, he is a nice man.
Yeah, I know.
So he's well viewed.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's well liked.
Ooh.
Maybe
What if
Grieve Brynmar is like a family name, but like the kind that you pass down through the generations. So like, maybe the one we know is Grieve Brynmar Jr. Or it's just a fucking made up name that coincidentally is also the name of a dude from this city.
Okay, but what if we send one person who Grieve Benmar doesn't know to the mansion, who has good social interactions, to figure out what's going on with Grieve Benmar, while we, the people who Grieve Benmar knows, go into the dark dungeon?
So Kieran wants to kill me.
No, I mean, as long as you stay in public, it should be fine unless they want to know that Grieve Benmar is not a nice guy.
All right. Well, I can work that angle if you want me to work that angle.
Work those angles.
Let's split the party. It's always a great idea.
Well, you could always hang back while he has a social interaction.
Sure,
Yeah, I was
we can
thinking
do that.
we'll case the place. You go up, see what you can find out. Maybe talk to some servants. See how many people are around, who's around.
I was just looking for a job. Not homeless or anything, just looking for a job.
I'm gonna as we're eating our street food, because I assume we're gonna wander around. I'm gonna start heading towards the edge of the city in the direction of where Grieve Brynmar's house is. So I assume it's
Okay.
like out on a hill on the outskirts or something.
Yes, it is through the city. What would be the north, I believe. Yes, it is to the north. And up on a hill.
I'll stop when I realize that there are no more cafes or eateries in that direction anymore.
Yes, you're kind of amongst some shabby-looking houses.
Near a really crappy food stand.
Yes.
And I look to his mansion and say, alright, so here's the idea I have. It'd work better if we knew if Grieve Brynmar sold or imported anything. But we dress, well, Corden's already dressed for the job. We send Corden up to the mansion and tell him, and have Corden tell whoever runs that household that a ship's first mate has a cargo that they believe Grieve Brynmar would be interested in, and they would like to meet him and make a deal. Or I can just go up to the fucking door myself. And
I don't
say
think
this.
Carden would be up to the task. I don't want him.
Carden's eyes are wide.
I don't want him interacting with the Grieve
I mean, the
Benmar.
purpose was to create more legitimacy in what I'm saying, but sure, I can just go up. In which case, I'm still taking Corden with me because I would like to have more attacks. If it turns out to be the guy, and he can
I'd
like,
like to have a meat shield to push in front of me and
well,
run away.
that's what an apprentice is for. I've seen Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
So, are you
He
making
totally
are
threw
all
that
of you
kid in.
making your way up the long, windy path to the nice-looking mansion?
Yeah, I will take off my stupid hat when I get close and hand it to Seopia. Help
See,
keep the sun
P
off your face.
P will take it and look it over, like turning it over in her hands, and then hesitantly put it on her head.
Oh, you look magnificent, my dear.
Thank you.
Stunning.
Imagine,
Absolutely stunning.
imagine a kind of Italianate manor house, kind of stuccoed walls, very open air.
But
On the front.
carved out of sugar cubes.
Yes, Numenera.
I'm just trying to inject some weirdness into the structures of these places.
There will be
Made
weirdness.
columns of dry ice.
Columns
Yeah.
of dried eyes. Watch you.
Dried eyes! But it's Numenera, it's just like, oh, eyes must be abundant in the area at one time. Must be really common building material. I get it, they're really sticky.
There's no like gate that keeps riffraff out or anything. The path leading up to as you can see from around the corner or whatever you're doing, army crawling up to the house.
They're
There's
army
a
crawling.
like a
Well, are there?
glass walkway that starts at like perhaps the edge of his property and goes up to the house.
Huh. A glass walkway, like an enclosed glass hallway?
No,
Or like a footpath
slab
made of glass?
Yes, a footpath made of glass.
Oh, so like a raised timber walking trail, but out of glass?
No,
Nope.
just like some glass on the ground.
Oh, like cobblestones, but they're glass.
Just a big slab of glass.
Wow, that's really weird. I'm gonna slip and slide all over that. I don't think I've ever walked on a giant thing of glass.
What were you going to say, Ryan?
Oh, I was going to say, are there other people around? Like, is it off of a street? Is it secluded on a big piece of property? Okay.
It's way up in the hill. That like kind of overlooks the city. There's not any noise coming from it. No horrible, brutal, murdered screams or anything like that.
That just means the guy who built his dungeon built it with solid soundproofing.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess I will walk up to the thing. I guess I'm going to go knock on his door, I say, as I rake my fingers through my knotted hair and sort of make sure my face is clean as I look in the reflection of my knife.
As you
Don't die.
step from the dirt road onto the glass path, you start just moving forward out of kind of some strange Numenera nonsense.
I sort of start walking backwards as I step on it, because I'm like, oh, I gotta get off this thing. It's
You
moving.
find yourself not able to get off of it.
Like my feet are cemented to it?
Kind of. You're kind of stuck as you're moving forward.
Better get into character, Halim.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the thing. Courtney!
Can I look at the glass and make a roll?
I still have my flex skill set to Numenera, so can I figure out what the deal is with that?
Yes. Have a difficulty, I don't know, 3.
Okay. 3. Submit. I'm not adding any effort, and they don't have any assets.
I rolled. Oh my god, natural 20.
You
Nice.
ass!
I just know exactly what this is. Like, this is very familiar to me.
Back in my day.
Yeah, we had all kinds of these on the farm.
How else do you get cows to the slaughter, or whatever the Numenera equivalent of cows is? Bugalow.
At the future airport, these things are all over the place.
Numenera Airport. Yeah, you remember particularly, Kieran, that the noble estate near your town had one of these on the side, near the side of their house, so that people could come by and just put, like, deliveries on it, and then it would just go into the house.
But nothing that, like, was a pathway to the house?
No, it wasn't usually a pathway.
Do I know how to shut it down with my natural 20?
You know that if there are controls, they are in the house.
Okay.
So this thing is like not the kind of... It's not a walkway that you would receive visitors by. It's like drop off the food and supplies and stuff, and it takes it to the kitchens or whatever.
Yeah, it takes it to the front door, at least in this case. Carden is kind of holding hard onto your back,
Alright,
kind of
calm down.
mumbling that this was a mistake, this was a mistake, as you abruptly come to a stop.
You gotta pull yourself together, guy. When we stop, I try to step forward immediately.
How far away
step-
are we from the door?
Several miles.
Yes, 1,000 miles. Probably around 200 feet.
Okay. Don't forget to use the signal when you're in trouble that we definitely made before this.
You mean the one where I try and break the nearest window and jump out of it?
Yeah, sure.
If we see
What
that,
are-
we'll come running.
What are you guys doing, by the way? Are you just standing out in the middle of the road?
No, I'm hiding.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that army crawl joke from before probably wasn't too far off with P in mind.
You can clearly see them hiding in the bushes as you look behind.
Wait, are you saying that since he knows we're there, that he can see us, or are we just really bad at hiding?
I don't know.
Do you want us to roll for hiding?
Do you want to roll for hiding?
Not really, I don't have that tagged, and I feel like my
Yeah, I don't
flashing
have
clothes
that.
would give me, like, more difficulty.
I'm wearing a fucking giant hat that
You
that
see a giant hat and some people.
Oh my
Um,
god.
you not?
You know, if you guys, instead of hiding, just sat there with your backs turned, acting like you were like having a picnic or something in a meadow.
Sure, we
Do you
do that.
knock,
Yeah.
Colleen?
Sorry. Yes, I will knock.
Okay.
I look over my shoulder at this giant hat.
We'll eat our stick food
Stick
and broth.
things.
Sticky broth.
You hear a tinny voice, very similar to Eat's voice that you never heard. Actually, you might have met Eat. I think you have met Eat. There's a robot you met one time in a bar. Kind of an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
The love of my life, you mean?
Yes, the love of Kieran's life. And you hear them say, "Excuse me, just one moment. I will be there as soon as possible."
I think that might be some kind of automaton.
The door kind of slides up in front of you,
Oh, that's disconcerting.
um, and in front of you stands a 5 foot tall blue humanoidish shape,
5 foot short or tall?
short.
It's short-ish.
Okay. I measure in centimeters.
I apologize for my Americanism.
It's fine. It's just it doesn't mean anything to me.
5 foot.
It's like saying he's 10. He's 10 football fields long. It's like, okay, how long is that?
170 centimeters.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
Something like that. Maybe 150.
How many
I'm 100.
centimeters are in a meter?
100. That's the
Anyways.
way. It's base 10. Anyway, yes.
Oh, right.
Yes. He kind of has large focusing lenses, it looks like, on his face, and a little square, like, lighting up thing where his mouth is.
Hello. I am a trader. I run all up and down these coasts with my mother, who is a captain of a vessel. And I was wondering, I'm sorry about the weapons. I was wondering if I could speak to Grieve Binmar.
Good afternoon, trader.
Trader.
Traitor.
As in
Yes,
trade.
trader.
Traitor.
Yeah.
Do you have a name, trader?
Yes, sorry, my name is
my God.
Salim Deepwater. Deep swimmer.
He uses his actual name on a...
Why wouldn't I?
He
I am not
nods.
a spy. I am a pirate.
If you will excuse me, I will go speak with the Grieve and see if he wishes to speak with you.
Thank you.
The door
kindly.
shuts in your face.
Alright, cool guy.
And almost immediately he returns. You wait about maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would just turn to Gordon like, I think that went quite well as the door rises back up.
He wishes to see you and any of your friends that you wish to bring with you.
It's just me and Gordon, my new assistant.
Is there any way we can sneak, like, towards the house? Are there any, like, tall bushes or landscaping?
I don't know what you're talking about, Kieran. You're having a nice picnic with your gal.
Okay, well, I don't feel comfortable about you meeting Grief Benmar alone.
Look, I've already had one character die. Brandon's not going to do it again.
I'm not worried about your character. I'm worried about
Gordon?
Garden.
Okay, more about Gordon and Salim. You ass! Halim,
You
sorry.
are led inside. You and Carden are led inside.
Do you want me to place my spears down? I'm sorry, it's dangerous on the seas, and this town looked a bit rougher than it was last time I visited.
The little robot looks at your weapons and says, "Ah, I did not even notice them. You are no threat to me."
No, I can't imagine with your fine steel alloy body. Steely alloy body, rather.
How long have you been a trader?
Not that long. I mean, I'm really more of a general purpose entrepreneur. But I found that trader was the role that fit me today.
You kind of have small talk with this robot for a while as he leads you down this long hallway.
Are there, so that I can color the small talk in my mind, are there plants and stuff growing around the
It's
building,
a
like
very
gardens?
strange, like thin hallway with some type of Numenera marble floor and like dark walls of some um, possibly wood material. Uh, there's nothing really that says this is a house, someone lives in it.
Well,
Um,
then I shall ask us. So tell me, we talk about like I ask questions about like when the building was built and like its history and like who has lived in it.
the Binma family has lived here for many years.
Many. Good, good, many's good.
I was built by the first Grieve Binma.
It is a family name. Tell me, is Grieve a title?
Yes,
Nice. Good to know. Good to know.
its meaning is lost. Hmm.
Isn't that the way in these times?
He kind of abruptly stops, and you almost run into him, and
Oh,
he
sorry.
points with his like two stubby arms to a like solid panel that's kind of differentiated in color, like it's a lighter dark than the rest of the um, surrounding area.
A,
Um,
a dark black as opposed
yes,
to a slightly darker black.
yes, it is a lightish black as opposed to a dark black. Now it's like a light brown as opposed to the like darker browns of the walls. Um,
I step forward and sort of gesture to the door, say, is through here or?
the door opens up as you step forward.
Oh, okay, well, Corden, come on. I say as I step through.
He follows you sheepishly in.
Don't
I will
worry.
return with refreshments. And you hear him
Wonderful.
clanking. Inside
Corden,
is
you've
a
got to take a
large
more confident posture, Corden. All right.
room, very tall, like 2 stories of a house tall. There are books lining one of the walls. There are what look like artifacts all over
Walls.
the
Room.
uh, yes room on pedestals, in like shelves, in glass,
I
in
think this might
um,
be some kind of gallery.
you see what looks like um, a man shape in a robe with um, a golden thing on his head that kind of extends backwards to a like knife edge on the back of his head.
That is quite the piece of headgear.
Kind of slowly turns around wearing, as I said, like reddish robes. And you see a like blank human expression, like eyes, two like blank eyes and a humanish looking mouth that are projected from the front of this strange golden helmet. Um,
Are you the Grieve?
ah, yes, you hear a humanish voice coming from inside of the helmet. Um, yes, I am Grieve Ultima Benma, and you are Halim Deep Swimmer, I believe.
Yes. Deep swimming's the name. Deep swimming's the game.
He kind of reaches down. He turns back around. He says, "Just one moment. I have a question to ask you." Um, and he leans forward. Do you like look to see what he's doing, or
Nope, I am not gonna do anything to provoke the quite possible deadly super nano.
he?
From what I have heard of this grieved Binmar from my companions.
You hear a like clicking noise,
Oh god.
and the room kind of darkens, and you see a large projection on the blank wall in front of you, and you see a ridiculous hat, and then it kind of zooms out, and you see Kieran and P sitting there, um, and he kind of
Enjoying our stick food.
yes, he kind of does something with his hands, um, and you see time go back, like some kind of video.
Yeah.
And he shows you all four walking up the pathway. He said, "Is there any reason your friends did not join us?"
Oh, they wanted to have a picnic, I believe. Not really financially minded individuals.
Too bad they did not bring any food. And he shuts the thing down. Um,
They were eating their soupy
We were
broth
eating.
thing.
he turns completely bodily towards you. He's just kind of like a robe and a head. Um,
Mm.
and he says, "You came here to talk about trade."
Mostly of information.
The projected eyes squint at you.
So, it has come to my attention. Corden, sit down. It's come to my attention that you are known throughout this, or known to the knights that have recently seized control of the city, and they described you as quite a pleasant gentleman.
Ah, I'm glad my reputation serves me well at the few functions I have um, visited. Kind of
Yeah,
smirks with his
so
weird projected mouth.
they have been clearing the city of abhumans, and I mean, I was hoping that you could perhaps provide me insight, but now that I'm sitting here in front of you, I have another question. Have any of them ever met you? In the physical, like I am right now?
Oh no.
I was going to say, because you strike me. I mean, my mother is an abhuman. Vagerin? Magellan?
Something like that.
It's got a V in it, and there's a Y and a J in there, I think.
Vargellan.
Vargellan. So I don't hold any of the strange hang-ups that the people in the town do, but you do strike me as what some would call abhuman. I would just call
He
another
chuckles.
inhabitant of the ninth world.
I am not an abhuman. I am human like you.
Your visage strikes a different picture.
He reaches out of his robe and like knocks on his head. Oh, you mean the helmet?
Yeah,
I
it
can't take it
makes.
off.
Oh, sorry, it's just that combined with the robes and it just makes you look
Crazy?
distant. No, 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 I wouldn't say crazy. I'd say distant to the knights, for example, or Corden here.
He kind of nods. This is what I appear to them as, and he kind of puts his hand in between the space you and him are occupying in a kind of from feet up builds a pleasant-looking man in his early 40s. They kind of uh, blonding white beard and like slick black blonde hair and dark eyes. He's wearing like close fitting like black uh, leathers. It says this is what I appear to them as, and you see the mouth moving in time with.
It's quite a nice projection.
He nods. The thing nods with him. Yes, it is hard light. I believe. Kind of puts the hand out towards you.
And I touched the hand, I
It
guess.
feels like flesh.
That's quite the Christian Science. Well, that certainly explains one of my confusions. Where are those refreshments? I say as I look around.
We're quite far from the kitchen. It takes him quite a while to return.
He's doing quite well for what I assume is a ancient machine.
Oh yes, he's probably. Ooh, and you hear him make some kind of weird, like distorted noise, like probably 500 to 600 years old.
Wow. So your
Or
family
older,
has
maybe.
controlled this house for quite some time. Did they build it themselves?
Oh yes.
It's amazing craftsmanship. But I suppose that's not really why I'm here. Um, I was wondering if you knew anything about. Did they get a name, my companions, for the object that they pulled out of the loop? The thing that they brought to Georges?
The item.
Yes.
Um,
It was called like a. It was something to do with controlling something.
it was some kind of compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Can't
was a
quite remember
compass.
the name. All I know is what it does.
Okay.
But we
Well
don't
then
know
I
what it
won't
does.
use that. Tell me, are you familiar with the loop?
The loop. No, what is the loop? Is well, I know what a loop is, but
It's a strange, as I understand it, a bend in dimensional space that creates a pocketed world.
okay.
It's down near Ain.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, friends of mine were telling me how they ran into somebody called Grieve Brynmar, and told them interesting tales about in there, and then I heard your name, and I thought you might be able to share more information because I, on occasion, engage in a bit of Numenera hunting, and it seemed like a good place to go, and your name sprung to my mind when I entered the city, and I thought, what great fortune! I might be able to find more about this loop from this Grieve Brynmar who claims to have entered it.
Hmm. You. There's someone else using my name. You say.
That could be an explanation. Maybe they misheard.
Do you
But
know?
this gentleman was described as having to me as a very serious man with purple painted flesh.
He kind of stiffens for a moment. Hmm.
And I think he had headgear, but I can't quite recall the description. But I don't think it was like that. It was a
No,
while ago that I heard this story.
there is nothing quite like this. Kind of motions to his head.
But your robot was telling me that Grieve is a title.
Oh yes, but I am the only Grieve.
Oh, maybe a disgruntled niece or nephew then, eh?
I am the only Grieve.
No.
Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. Or your grief, if that may be what you are currently expressing.
You don't have any other information besides he has purple skin?
I'm trying to think of other things that I remember personally from the adventure, because I assumed that the others had shared that with me before sending me in here alone to die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, fuck. I believe they said that the gentleman vanished towards the end of their stay in the city. Um, Bit of a destructive teleportation, though.
Ah,
Collapsed a whole tavern in on itself. But you know, sometimes Numenera and artifacts, they can behave erratically, and
I
something that works
think
perfectly well 100 times can fail once, and you kill a whole town.
I know who you are speaking of.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But, so could you tell me more about, is he in town so that I could learn more about the loop?
Kind of narrows his weird projected eyes at you.
And then do I have a tell if it is time to stop lying roll? Um,
Your
no.
heart rate is kind of erratic. Have you been to a doctor lately?
You know what? Interestingly, I have. Uh, but it
Ah,
doesn't normally check my heart. Very special kind of doctor.
kind of looks at you for a moment. Well, I guess the door slides open. The little blue robot wanders in with a tray um, of brown liquid,
Oh,
clear brown liquid. Um,
oh, like tea. Um, I pass a cup of it to Corden, and then pass a cup of it to old mate.
How is Corden reacting in this?
Hopefully, he's just biting his wallet.
he's kind of looking around, kind of um, sheepishly looking at the artifacts and things in the room. Amazed he has never seen such a thing. I mean, he has flown on a giant monster bird thing, but that's different than
That's just Tuesday.
yeah, that's different than strange man with giant mask and robot butler. Um, he takes a sip of the brown liquid. He kind of coughs. Oh, um, that's very strong.
I taste some of it. How strong is it?
Um, to you, it's probably not that strong, but it is kind of somewhere getting close to like jet fuel levels of alcohol.
That is the best tea ever.
Um, so, if hmm, I don't really know how to begin.
Well, how about you just start off by telling me who this other so-called imposter is, and then maybe together we can both work out where this person might be, and then I can ask them my questions about the loop. And then I'm sure you and I can come to an arrangement about what this information is worth to you.
He shakes his head at you. He's like, "You have no interest in the loop."
Ah, so now we get to that part of the negotiation, I say. I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't, but
No, you have no interest. You're looking for information about this man.
so
It's
that I can.
written on your face.
Well, I mean, lying was never my strong suit. I just wasn't sure if you were going to kill me or not.
He
This
nods.
other,
Yes, I
this,
understand.
this other Grieve Binmar, not the most
Kindest man?
negotiable kindest. That also works
Hmm.
of fellows.
He kind of looks at you and looks down at the ground and looks back up at you and says, "Are you sure your friends don't want to hear this?"
I mean, they might, but they sent me in specifically to negotiate on their behalf.
He nods. Well, and pauses for a moment and looks down at the um, little robot. And he says, "You may leave." The robot
Little
thing
robot.
walks out. He kind of turns around and looks at the blank wall. Many years ago, um,
Eons
50
ago.
years ago now, a man came to my home.
Hmm.
His name was Kren Malia.
Kren Malia.
He was um, a strange man, but we quickly fell into a um, deep friendship with each other. Traded stories, talked about our lives, and it was about a month later when he went missing, along with, and he kind of looks around the room, turns back towards you, looks around the room, along with a number of my items. And a few
Hmm.
of my books.
Well then.
He used to ritually paint his face every morning purple as
Oh
a
man, I wish that Halim had met Ko.
sign of respect. He told me once to um, his god, I believe he called it.
Hmm.
I didn't inquire too much, and
Why
it
did
is
he think?
possible that this is him.
Why would he take your name though?
He took something that I told him not to touch, not to look at, not to handle. One of the few things that I only handled once.
Sorry about that. There are people yelling in my apartment.
Um, it was a black helm.
That sounds familiar. That sounds like something my friends described.
I I don't know what happened to him, but it's possible the being that inhabited the helm drove him to madness, or...
There's a being that inhabits the helm.
Yes, I should have made that clear.
Yes. Sorry.
These are memories from long ago. He was nothing more than... He kind of motions to Carden. Nothing more than a young man with a twinkle in his eye and a no aptitude for much.
Well, you can't possibly think of what the creature within the helm's motivations may be?
The one time I held it in my hands, it wanted me to um, venture into the beyond to try to find something. Um,
The beyond, I say, excitedly.
but I, of course, would not. I have much too powerful a will to succumb to such simplistic suggestion.
That's a good point. I should remind you that I am easily suggested and manipulated by others.
He's been manipulating you this whole time. No. You come outside. Kieran and P are dead. No.
It is I, the wicked Don Fandango.
Exactly. So he kind of quits his storytelling and kind of looks at you, and that's all I have. It's possible this is him. It sounds a lot like him.
Can you tell us anything more about the limit, what this mask, this helmet can do?
I was once a Numenera hunter, as you can tell. And you know how
Man's gotta have hobbies.
when you find a device or something, you usually have to cobble it together, a piece here, a piece there, attach two wires, and you get a bomb that blows your arm off. Something like that.
Yes.
This was not that. This was something I found far away.
Well,
I truly wish I had more information to give you, more of some type of lead, some weakness,
would it be
some...
possible that we could find answers by going to the place where you discovered the mask, the helm?
He puts his clearly human hand on his metal face. It kind of distorts his mouth, and he says, "It's possible. I wasn't in there for long. It was quite dangerous. I mean, I can show you a map if you would like." But
Anything that would help. I am adept at reading maps, I say, as for some reason my pirate has no navigation or map reading skills.
well, you're not
He's
a
not the
pirate.
navigator.
You're a whatever, like gun-ho
Captain.
drug user.
I'm more of a corsair.
Yeah. He kind of says, perhaps now would be a good time to bring in your friends.
Definitely. I step to the door and I wave, we go through all the motions of getting them to come inside, because
Um, He reaches over and grabs a small like crystal and like he like holds it in his hands and you hear him whisper something as you step towards the door. As the door slides open, it zips out the door in front of you.
Oh my.
It should get them and bring them here. If you wish to wait.
Okay.
This will be fun.
Do you wish to wait, or would you like to warn them?
If I can warn them.
You kind of step out into the hall and you see the thing already out the door. You both, as you're kind of, are you watching the house, like waiting for an explosion, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting to see if
We're like,
a
yeah, we're
window
having a
breaks and-
picnic, but we're looking at the house.
You see this thing, the front door opens, and something zooms out of the house. And it comes straight for you faster than you can react. It kind of hovers in the air right in front of one of your faces. And P, you disappear.
Can I take out my sword and attack this thing?
As you rise to attack, you also disappear.
I call BS because my speed defense is super high, so I think I should get a roll for that.
Okay, you can roll. It is a 10.
Alright. Let me just check this out. Let's see. Speed defense. Alright. It's difficulty 10. Impossible. I don't want to spend any effort on it. I think I get like +1 also with that. I have no idea what that means. Okay.
So unless you spend effort, you're not going to be able to succeed.
Darn.
Because difficulty 10 is a 30.
Yeah.
No. I wait. Yeah. Oh, darn. You're right. Should have spent some effort.
your training brings it, your skill brings it down to 27 because that's a 9, unless you have a second level training which brings it down to 24.
Anyways,
I have,
doesn't matter.
But it's
So
It's a
you
moot
try
point,
to
isn't it?
dodge it and fail, which is
Yes.
fine. Because
Fail
we know
a little bit slightly off because I rolled an 18 and I
we
needed
know
21.
we know it's not going to kill you anyway.
You kind of both feel like a floating sensation, but you feel like you're detached from yourself, and it's only for a moment as you both reappear on a crumpled heap together in the middle of a marble-ish floor in a room. Your sword slowly cutting through the floor.
That's right, Disruptor Sword.
And
I,
you
like-
see your friends appear in a crumpled heap.
What
Oh.
what was that?
Can I get up and like push
Randomly
myself up
swing.
and try to like I don't know, see if I can attack someone?
You kill Carden. Everyone is horrified. No.
Kieran, perhaps you should put your sword away. You're damaging our host's floor.
Oh, no worries. It could be repaired. I'm sorry for the abrupt kidnapping. But
Who are you? And where's the purple man?
This is Grieve Bryn Mawr.
Ultima.
Ultima, sorry. Ultima. This is Grieve
Like from
Ultima
Final
Bryn Mawr.
Fantasy.
Yes.
Alright, that's enough of this nerd shit.
Yeah.
He
let's get down
said
to the
playing
brass
a
tacks.
role-playing game.
Yeah.
So he looks at you, P, when you say, "Where's the purple man?" He says, "That's what me and your friend were discussing, trying to find out the location of the Grieve Binma the False, I guess we should call him."
We had been calling in the Purple Man, but for some reason I feel like that's a bad idea. Almost like it's an existing property.
Yeah.
Kind of nods. Yes, I think there's something in the annals of history about the Purple Man. I will have to check my Nahaflex to figure it out.
Ah, yes, the Nahaflix, one of the best villains produced by the Nahaflix tomes.
Um, he looks at you both. You have met Krenmalia, then? That's who me and your friend Halim believe you have met.
Hmm.
Purple Man wears a weird helmet. Not like mine.
If that is his name.
Painted
never-
his face purple in reverence to his god.
I haven't had direct interaction with him, but I believe Kieran has.
And he doesn't look anything like him, so, you know.
We were discussing a going to the place where I found the helmet he wears.
The helmet
And I
was
wanted you here
stolen.
to, yes, wanted you here to discuss this.
What is the significance of the helmet?
Apparently there is an entity, a consciousness that resides within the helmet.
Yes.
So he may have been manipulated, or perhaps is possessed by some exterior entity.
I put my bet on insane, but you never know. Would you either like drinks?
Sure.
He nods, and in a few seconds, a small bluish robot walks in, carrying a tray with clear brown liquid in two goblets. Anyways, the um, the map, yes.
Yes,
Kind of-
show us where you found the Dark Helm.
Kind of opens up Google Maps and types in where I found. No,
Gahoogle!
yeah, the great god Gahoogle.
Oldest of the gods.
The many-eyed one!
He opens what looks like a to normal people a satellite projection of the house you're in.
Ooh, it's almost as if we were looking from the clouds.
Yes, one of the devices I found. There is an eye in the heavens that watches us.
Oh, I saw something similar once that a ship had, but it wasn't an eye in the heavens. It was a sort of a winged viewer. Some kind of mechanical bird wrought from plastic flesh.
Well, he kind of moves the map. You see, like, little dots on it that are labeled in some kind of strange script. And he rolls
Strange
over.
is the other Monty Cook game, Brandon.
Yes. Strange script, not the strange script.
Oh, my mistake.
Yes. No, no relation. Um, yeah, some strange alien script. And he goes into what look like mountains, and he says, near this river, he points on the map. Here, there's an obelisk. The people call it the obelisk of the water god.
Oh my god. It can't be the one I'm thinking of.
There's a small cave near near it that leads down into the into a series of connected caves.
I swear to God, if that cave is an underwater dungeon, I am going to kill myself.
Um, yes. He kind of gets lost for a moment. It was many years ago. I can't quite remember where the cave was. It's in that general area, but down deep is a. I don't have a word for it. A factory, I think,
Huh.
and
What were
So
they making in this factory?
I I'm unentirely I'm entirely unsure. I just saw deep down, far below where I stood, the noises of hammers and ratcheting noise, a kind of some kind of power noise, and just banging. I could see small things moving about. I couldn't find a way down, but as I went further into the complex or the facility, whatever you call it, um, I found a room which was locked. Um, I was once very proficient at disabling locks, not too much anymore. Old hands. And inside, on a pedestal, was a helm, and I threw it in my bag.
And that was it. That was all you took.
Oh,
You
yes.
you went no further inside.
Uh, it seemed whatever was there had noticed my presence. You don't stick around when things are starting to come to kill. At least I don't.
Is that a reference to a certain deceased party member of ours?
Look, it seemed like the coast was clear, is what I imagine Ko would say from what Theopia has told me.
Uh,
Somebody had to be the first one to die, okay?
I, well, I am sorry for your loss. No, um, that's about all the information I can give you.
Well, that is helpful, and why we will certainly, my friends at least, will certainly need to investigate further. However, we do have one more matter you might be able to help us with.
And that would
You,
be
well, you built this home long ago, perhaps while the city was still being constructed.
Constructed.
We need to get into the dungeon, or the basement, or the storm cellar
Lower levels.
of the citadel of the something something.
the sanctuary of the eye.
The sanctuary of the eye. And I think you might know a way in. Now, we're not going to steal anything. We simply need to reunite, or at least we don't plan on stealing anything. We need to reunite one of their captives with their mate. They have a whole beach full of children on the way, and while a single parent can certainly do the job, if you can have two parents, you should try and have two parents.
He
You picking up what
nods.
I'm putting down?
I think so. You speak in riddles rather than plain
I need
language.
to I need to rescue a giant centipede from the insane knights.
Who are probably at this moment torturing.
Because its husband slash baby daddy really wants it back.
And you wish to find an alternate way inside.
Yes, and I thought you seemed like a knowledgeable fellow. You're a former Numenera hunter. You might know a thing or two.
Well, did you check to see if there was a outpour or a sewer or something?
It was an idea that we had, but, you know, we were going to go do that after we talked to Grieve Brindar, the powerful and destructive Nano, who turned out to be a different powerful Nano.
He shakes his head. I am no Nano.
A different Jack.
Anyway,
He doesn't strike me as a glaive, but I'm willing to be proven wrong.
he challenges you to hand-to-hand combat.
He's a master of kicking.
Sorry, he only uses his feet.
He's like that chef from One Piece.
Yes, Sanji. Anyways,
Crossroads. Sanji Crossroads. Which is a Gundam character, I believe. Anyway, so a sewer, you think?
that would be my best guess. I mean, it's possible if you had some type of digging device, you could dig a hole into it.
No, I don't think we have a digger.
It's possible you could. Can you teleport?
I mean, I can't.
Nope.
No.
Gordon,
I
you've
can't
been
do
quiet this whole time. You're not hiding some teleportation artifacts in your coat, are you?
Would you
He
leave him
seems a little
alone?
drunk. Or perhaps much drunk. Perhaps he's
Gordon,
a quiet
did you
drunk.
drink my drink as well?
Nope, just mine.
Because I can't see mine.
You should
So what you're
share
saying
your
is we sent you in here to get information and you decided to have drinks.
Well, I don't know how you do business. I don't question your
Gentlemen,
picnic methods.
I think the sewer is probably our best bet, little as we might like it.
Do you know anything else about the inside of the Citadel? Fuck, I keep saying Citadel. Sanctuary?
I've never been inside.
My guess is, by looking at you, if you ever had, they wouldn't let you out again.
Oh, he has a thing, but that's irrelevant. He can look like a normal guy.
Lucky for you.
Yes.
He's straight passing.
Yes, I'm straight passing. I love football, and anyways, he says, "Well, I wish I could help you more.
If only there was some way to teleport us inside. Like, say, with a teleporter.
Yes, only if we had a teleporter.
That you just used. Could we use your teleporter?
Oh, the crystal? I have to have been there.
Ah.
and it's only short range. I have to see it.
I mean, fair enough. It's just because you mentioned if we could teleport, and then like you teleported my friend, so I thought I'd ask just in case. I mean,
No problem. You never know what kind of goofy devices one picks up. I've even heard of goofy things like escape balloons. Very ridiculous.
escape balloons. Weird.
Is there anything else you would like?
I don't know. I mean, I can't think of anything else. Boys, gal.
No, I think we're done here. Thank you for your help.
I wish he just hadn't taken that helmet from you in the first place.
Well, it was quite some time ago.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying it. I can't help but feel like maybe if it hadn't happened, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Oh my... Will you just shut up, please?
What? Was it not you, Kieran, who just a couple of hours ago was berating my friend for slaughtering orphans?
What?
Well, if you are finished here, I have some
Yes,
things
sorry.
I'd like to take care of. You're welcome to argue on my front lawn.
Yes, sorry, but yes.
Thank you for your time.
Indeed. Thank you for your help. I'm very glad that you didn't turn out to be the guy.
And thank you for the drink. And P drains her cup.
Oh my god.
It is delicious.
We're about to go on a rescue mission, and everyone else in the party is like about to get drunk.
That's how you do it. Nerves of steel.
If by go on a rescue mission you mean crawl through the sewer, then yeah, right. I'm getting drunk beforehand.
I'm so drunk I can't smell.
Cool. Are we gonna go crawl through a sewer now?
You can find entrance and then
Yeah, first we have to find one.
How about we go look for a sewer?
Yeah.
Alright.
Carden says he's going to go back to the ship.
Alright, we'll take my hat.
He
don't want the hat getting dirty.
He hugs it tightly to his chest. Like he is very pleased.
I sort of tussle his hair. Alright. Off you go, champ.
He makes his way going in the wrong direction, then turns around and goes the right direction.
I was gonna say!
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Alright, so. Let's go to... Is the sanctuary in the middle of town?
No, it's near the edge of the town, like not too far from the dilapidated section of the town that's near the road that leads to the true Grieve Beanma's
The Grieve Manor.
Yes.
The Palace of the Grieve.
Yeah, the Palace of the Grieve.
Dun dun.
Alright, so if I was there... I mean, it's right near the water, so, like, if you were gonna have, like, the city, so if you were gonna have sewage runoff, it would run towards the water, because medieval architecture is like that, and... What do you mean shitting in the water's gonna make me sick? However, I propose that we walk back to town along the edge of the, town, these outskirts, these where it meets these fields and meadows, and see if there are any water sources or giant stink holes full of rotting shit and sewage.
Jump in those stink holes.
Sound like a plan to everyone else?
Can we take
Sounds
Gordon
like a
home
plan.
first?
Gordon's taking himself home.
He's
Yes.
drunk.
He's
is
also
gone.
he's also an assassin.
A bad one.
He had to fight hero characters. Like, I'm confident
He
that
was a
he
kid
will...
from the street. Do you forget his backstory? He grew up on the street, and then they forced him to come after us, and then we didn't kill him because he, like, I forgot specifically how, but
So,
we could go back.
before I do this, Jacob, I am not angry at you. I'm going to roleplay here. As you say this, Halim grabs you by your shirt and says, "Don't you lecture me about growing up on the street, alright? I know more about that shit than you do." And then I push you away and like, he'll be fucking fine. He's got a knife in his boot. And he's just got to cross town.
I don't know what streets you lived on, but from where I come from, people don't walk around drunk and come out unharmed.
He'll be fine. Like, what horrible town did you grow up in? Where every drunk person is mugged.
Oh my god.
You have left and have solved the entire quest.
I'm
You're
glad.
proclaimed Queen of the world, and you execute both Kieran and Halim.
It was a bloody path.
But she
Peace
did.
has been brought.
Anyways, yes, you walk probably towards the docks, the area in which you assume there's some kind of outlet or some kind of crawl-in space or something gross you can get into.
A cement-lined stormwater runoff.
Yes, Numenera cement. It's
Marble.
got crystals in it. Oh, Numenera.
Because they were built by Dr. Dinosaur.
Exactly. So you
Crystal.
kind of search the edge of the dock, looking down into the water, looking for any, area of entrance. And you
Anybody else
see
what
a
we doing?
small hole in the side of the wall that drops down into the sea. It doesn't look like a perfectly shaped hole or something that was built. It rather looks like something that was burrowed into or burrowed out of.
Oh. I'm gonna jump down because I am Halim Deep Swimmer.
Oh my god.
You jump down onto the beach.
Yes. I walk up to this hole. How large is this hole?
It is, let's see, it is about as tall as a man.
Jesus. This is a big hole. Is it going to
You
be
can-
a tight squeeze, or am I going to be able to easily walk in?
You can easily walk in. It's like if you laid a man horizontally and had a man stand vertically, he could fit inside both ways.
Jesus. So it's not something that that the townspeople have missed, like they've seen it.
Don't go in that hole. That's where the monster lives.
Great.
Oh well, I've got fucking 2 spears and a heartbeat, 3 spears and a heartbeat.
Right,
But
so
yeah,
who's
as you
going
kind of,
first?
as Halim jumps down, an older gentleman kind of comes over. What you doing there, you two? Looking to catch some fish?
He's talking to you two, not me.
Yup.
Yeah, exactly.
On his beard.
How's the fishing
Oh.
around here?
Terrible.
Just the worst.
Darn, maybe it's divine punishment for our sins.
No, I'm not very good at finding a place to fish. He peeks over the edge. That your friend down there?
No, I've never seen him before in my life.
Well, you were just standing with him and he jumped down there, so I assume that he's crawling in the
Kieran!
trenches. hole.
Never seen him before in my
Of
life.
course he's our friend.
I call out to Kieran and P. Kieran, P! Who's that nice guy you're talking to?
My name's Jim. That's
Hey,
spelled
Jim.
G-U-Q. I don't know how to spell it.
I
Anyways.
didn't ask you for a writing lesson, Jim. Uh,
Huh? You want a
He,
riding lesson? I don't know
he
how to
calls
ride a horse.
he calls
Hey.
down, "This is Jim. He doesn't know how to spell his own name or find a good fishing spot."
Oh, poor guy. Does he ask him if he knows anything about
Okay,
this strange cave?
can I just like go down to the beach and walk into the manhole? Because I just don't want to be a part of this right now.
Kieran is done with all this talking shit.
Anyways, young lady, that's a trencher hole. They say there's a big beast that lives under the town and kills people. You know, typical urban nonsense. As you do.
Oh my god, that's so urban.
Comes
So
out at
what-
night, kills children who are bad. You know, typical stuff.
And this is one of the holes that it crawls out of.
Yes.
Sleeps during the day, does it?
Yeah.
A trencher is a really strange thing to call a creature, and I know why it's called that. Because it sounds like trench, and it dug a trench. But a
Oh,
trencher...
no. That's not why it's called a trencher.
Oh, is it called a trencher because it is a type of cheese board or table for which medieval cuisine is served on?
No. It's called a trencher because that's how it kills you.
It trenches you? It cuts you.
Oh, the only one I've seen ever killed by a trencher. You want to know what was left? Arms and legs. Trencher. Trenches your body.
Trenches? I'm not familiar with that term, but continue on with the adventure, don't mind me.
Kind
Alright,
of looks
well.
at you.
Let's just kill the monster and get all the loot from its body.
Have a good day. Don't get killed.
Mr. Plot
Tell
Device
me,
Man.
how big is a trencher, do you know? I've never seen
Never
one.
seen one myself.
Ah. How about tracks?
Can I roll to see how big a trencher is?
Do you have monster identification as a thing?
No, but I can just... Maybe I heard about trenchers where I grew up.
Nope.
Well,
10.
thanks for the tip there, Jim, and you can bet we won't get ourselves killed because, as you know, we're just looking for a spot to fish. And then P taps the side of her nose and jumps down to the beach.
Again, don't get killed. And he kind of wanders off.
What a
I should
helpful
be
old fella.
hard so I can BS my way into knowing things I shouldn't know.
Do you mean a jack? Or somebody with charming?
No. I'll die before I play a jack. Ugh.
Kieran
They're
walks in.
fucking bugs.
Ryan, yes?
Speaking of being a jack and BSing your way into knowing things that you shouldn't, do I have to? I have to wait a day to change my flex skill. Is that how that works, or can I do it?
I believe that is correct.
Change it once per day.
Yes, you can
Okay.
change it once per day.
But
So
can he
I?
change it after he's used it that day?
He never
That was
actually
my-
rolled. He never actually rolled. Or it
Oh,
never
I-
showed
I-
up for me.
I did.
No,
Just Jacob's success overshadowed mine because he got a.
I got a
he
natural
nat
20.
I only rolled an 8.
I'm with
Hmm.
Brandon. I didn't see it on the chat, so...
I don't think
I
I
didn't
saw it
see it.
either.
So, therefore it doesn't exist. So,
Ah,
feel free
okay.
to change your skill.
In that case, I'm going to I'll change it to something monster related. So
Monster-wise. No, wait, different game.
Zoology.
Xenoology.
Crypto-fascism.
Older history.
creatures. I'll call it creatures. Since
Okay.
you can define your skill. That seems broad enough.
Okay.
All right, and I'll see what I know about a trencher.
Give me a 5 roll.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna apply 1 level of effort. I have no assets and no bonus. No.
Ah. Well, you've never heard of a trencher before until Jim has told you of it. It trenches people, apparently, whatever that means.
And the
Yeah.
only thing left of you is your arms and legs afterwards. So that's great.
Um, it is dark and foreboding inside this
Let's light it up
strange.
with our glow wizard sticks or whatever they're called.
Glow wizard sticks.
That's right. We have like glow rod things in our bags.
Glow orbs.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've had
those.
some, but I do
That's
not
right.
anymore.
They're spheres, so that you can like roll them down dungeon hallways and shit.
That's right, so you can get murdered.
This way to the things you can murder.
That's right. This
You
way to the
know,
dungeon hobo.
as we're walking through this cave, I say, you know, I once met a guy who was so good at swimming he could see in the dark.
How does that follow?
Don't know, but that's what he told me. Years of swimming down deep underwater, he could just see things that other men couldn't or wouldn't.
The small, what shape is it? I think it's cylindrical, if I remember right. The small cylindrical object attached to your shoulder, P, um, beeps and emits a small, bright light out of its eye.
Oh, my shoulder robot is making itself useful.
The uh, light it projects is kind of an elfin, glowing light. You know, it's kind of weirdly sparkly and just looks weird. Um, the cave walls are thick with some kind of slime, and it kind of smells like old bread as you make your way down under the dawn. And that is where we will call it for the night.
Exactly
Oh,
at 12. Almost. Wait, give it like 5 more seconds.
no.
Yes, okay, yeah, it's 12, exactly at 12.
There we
Let's
go.
not wait and say we did. No, I thought that was good. It was a bit difficult getting back into the swing of things and remembering like what our characters were like, but
Yeah,
Well, all I remember is arguing a lot with your character.
we got that
So
one
that
covered.
succeeded.
yeah, you certainly locked onto that character trait. You're just tenacious. Good. Well, yeah, good. I liked it. I'm glad to be playing Numenera again. So I'm going to stop recording now. Farewell from the past. I'm Raymond.